We are live as we speak. We are
Woo,
live.
woo,
All
woo,
right. So yeah.
woo.
So Nick, the
Yeah.
Boston Cap. You know what? Before I went to Boston, I actually went to Boston one year, and I said, man, the first person that looks at me sideways that shows that Boston hat, I'm gonna deck him. And you know, it was real respectful out there. Like people saw me with my Yankees cap, they looked at me, I looked at them. We kind of looked at each other for a little bit. We gave a little nod. It was like, okay, you got balls coming in here. And, it was respectful. So we were like, all right, cool. So it was all respect, man. It was all respect. So it's all good, man. No controversy here, man. Oh, JJ just said go Pirates. I don't know about that, man.
Well, now there's controversy.
Guys on Instagram, please go to our YouTube channel, Brothers Who Brick. We have a conversation that we're about to get started, comic book conversation. So this is our comic talk. We got our two resident, I guess, what can I call you guys? Experts in the topics of comic books.
Experts in the I wouldn't say comics specifically, but Marvel definitely.
Yeah.
A little bit of DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was expert
and design enthusiasts as well.
design enthusiasts. Also Lego lovers as well. So
Yeah. I mean, we just fall under this whole specific category, so it's great.
We don't go outside of it.
Nope.
All right. I see Mike is coming in now. All right. So we got all the pleasantries out the way. Now we can bring in our resident DBZ expert and also another sports enthusiast, another comic enthusiast. We're just waiting for him to connect in. Then I can bring him into the stream.
perfect.
All right. E-Dollars, how are you? Hello, Julian, my friend, my young student friend. How are you, buddy? Listen, we gotta talk, my young friend. I'm doing this project, this amazing project that I selected a couple of my students from the summer, and we're gonna try to do a virtual project. So I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to give it away because one of my students is in the live stream. So I've been inspired this entire summer to not only give back, but to use the platform. And very soon our platform is about to explode even bigger. At least I hope it does. So I want to try to get as many people as I can, the rub, so to speak, to where, man, this could spin off for someone. They'd be like, man, I saw you on this, so I want you for this, something like that. So I'm gonna bring these young kids. These are like 8, 9-year-old kids. I'm going to try to have them build a project with me, and hopefully that could kick off somewhere. So,
Fantastic.
Should be real fun.
It's gonna be
All
great.
right, Elijah is here. He's one of your friends, Kyrie. I'm
Yeah. That's my boy Isaiah.
awesome.
Give me some
Awesome.
love.
Nice.
What's up, Zay?
All right, Mike was just here, and it looks like he is. All right, guys, we're gonna get started. All right, so once again, guys, this is our episode two of our awesome comic book chat here. I'm gonna create a banner real quick. That way, while we're talking, I'm gonna add this banner so that people know exactly what this is. This is not a brick and chat. We're not talking about Lego tonight. We are only talking about comic book stuff and all that type of goodness. So let's dive right in to the DC fandom. Let's get that out the way. And I say that with the utmost respect to DC fans. But let's get that out the way. DC fandom dropped 2 weeks ago. Whole bunch of big stuff coming out. Let me be honest. I've drank the Kool-Aid. Okay, here we go. Now we got Mike. Mike, are you here?
There I am.
All
What's
right,
up?
There we go. What's up, Mike?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing well.
Mike,
Good seeing you guys.
we were holding off, waiting for you, man. We're glad you're here. We're starting our conversation. So we're getting right into it. I'm doing a little introduction to that conversation. I'm going to say a little piece, and then from that point, the floor is open to all of us for a fair discussion. The first topic is the DC fandom. What was our thoughts about DC fandom? Basically, like I was saying, I've drank the Kool-Aid one too many times from DC. I've been poisoned by that, and because of that, I have stayed away from DC as far as news that DC may have. I'm in the category of I would need to see a trailer, a physical trailer, and a full date before I start to believe anything that comes from the DC camp. That's just my own opinion. But what did you guys think of the DC fandom?
I thought it was a good mix of stuff. Not like a perfect mix. There were some highs and some lows. I thought that, first of all, the Batman movie trailer, I think it looks really exciting and really great.
Mm-hmm. Relentless.
That's a great word. Relentless.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm open to like how they're presenting the Riddler in the movie. I'm open to. I'm not like it's not like when I think the Riddler, of course, my kind of mind goes to that Jim Carrey version, a very crazy, sporadic type of person. But they're going much more serious this route, and I'm open to it. I'm not sure what they're doing, but I'm open. But I also just listening to the riddle within the trailer. I just love how they might explore the relationship between Batman and the Gotham police. And the other thing I really enjoyed about the fandom was the Suicide Squad snippets was also. I'm excited for the Suicide Squad. But that was about it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. I think that first hearing about, I think the actor's name is Paul Dano, who plays the Riddler. I think that, seeing his other movies and the types of roles he's played, for example, Swiss Army Man, very strange movie. Riddler is a very strange character. It's very fitting. And seeing the footage of the Riddler in the trailer, it's kind of different from what people expected, but I think that that's kind of what has made some of the superhero movies a little bit more successful because they're a little bit more realistic with the times. Like, for example, whenever the Batman takes place, I think someone said it was in the 90s. Nobody's going to be wearing like that green hat with the purple, and not like the green suit. It doesn't seem like that. Just seems a little bit bright side to me, I guess. As for the Suicide Squad, I saw like the snippets as well, and I don't know if you guys heard, but John Cena, he said that he describes his character. The name is slipping my mind, but
Peacemaker, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, he said he kind of seems like a rude or not kind version of Captain America. There's another word he uses. I'm not going to use it now, but I think that's hilarious, and that Marvel was okay with saying, yeah, you can say that. So,
Totally.
Yeah.
Mike, what you think?
For me, honestly, I actually completely agree with you, Corey. I'm a type of person, I have to see the actual trailer, especially for DC, to see if I'll actually get a feel for it or not. I don't know, something about DC movies, I feel like they're slowly going downhill more. I'm more of a Marvel movie maker.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I agree with that. I just think, like, on a side note, I think that what they've done with Joker is probably, in a way, the best thing that they've had in a long time. I also was somebody who saw Aquaman, and many people loved it. I liked the action scenes that were, like the Black Manta scene when they're on the rooftops is incredible. But then when you see all the underwater scenes, I didn't really feel that, whereas to me, like Guardians of the Galaxy was so heavy on CGI. It made that work, and it made the unrealisticness, I guess, of it work. And I think it had help a little bit from the soundtracks. But yeah.
I
I was,
agree and disagree with you. Sorry to cut you off, Corey.
yeah, no
I
problem.
agree and disagree with you. I just feel like for Joker, I feel like no one could ever replace Heath Ledger. I think he was the most
Mhm.
perfect Joker. This new Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, I prefer Heath Ledger. He hit it
Yeah,
spot on.
that's split down the line. A lot of people. That's a split. It's like a Venn diagram right now. That's typically how the fans are reacting right now. Some people will even say Jack Nicholson too, which that makes me
Really?
so happy.
Yeah.
Like,
So
like to both of your points, especially with the Joker, I gave that movie a chance because at first I was watching it and I said, okay, Joaquin Phoenix, he's an incredible actor, hands down, one of the greatest of all time. As far as his acting ability, his way of getting into the role. Then watching the movie, it I guess for me, Marvel, the MCU has kind of spoiled me because I started to get used to watching a movie as if I'm reading a comic book. So
Mhm.
like I grew up watching cartoons. I grew up reading comic books. I used to wait until the comic books would come out for the next week so I can go get the next issue so I can know what's going on in the story.
Yep.
So that's what Marvel did. Marvel created a comic book type of universe where I have to watch the next movie because I need to know what's going to happen next. And if I don't watch the movie prior to it, then I'll be lost. Like they made it in such a way that that everything is connected, everything is interwoven. When it came to DC, now DC was trying to do the same thing with the Snyder universe, where they were trying to make everything into one story, which, okay, that's where the world is going. That's where fans are going. So it made business sense for them to do that. Once the failure, in my opinion, the failure with BVS and Justice League happened, it then took them in a very weird direction because they decided to move forward with a new Batman and they decided to put out a new Joker movie while you still had a present Joker and Jared Leto still present. He didn't die. He didn't go away. He was still there. So now I'm confused. I'm like, okay, well, who is this Joker if you guys already have a Joker? So what are you guys trying to show? And, then he started to get into with Flash, the theory of the multiverse. So now it's getting even more confusing because like, okay, well, I get your TV universe is making it is trying to connect everything, which is good. I want them to, but I'm still confused on where the narrative is as far as the universe is concerned. Are we going in the direction of multiverse? Because if we are, you kind of missed the boat on that because you move forward with different properties without explaining the fact that there is a multiverse. So that's why the Joker movie, it worked as if it was a single movie, a standalone. But for me, it didn't work with what the nature of their universe that they've already established. So that's what kind of got me confused with that movie.
Yeah, I would agree that I was going to say earlier that the Flash movie is kind of the scariest one because I feel like what they're going to do is they're basically gonna open up the multiverse and then whatever like storyline of universe that they think is most successful, they're gonna like pop back and forth between those because we have like you have the DCEU like universe going on, you have the Joaquin Phoenix one, you have the now Pattinson one, which I'm assuming isn't connected to Joaquin Phoenix. You're even bringing back Michael Keaton, so you're even taking it to the frick, like, which I love at the same time because I cannot wait. I would love to see Keaton returns Batman, but it's gonna get messy. I think it's gonna get really messy.
Yeah, and they also made the announcement, and I thought was, in my opinion, bad timing because then they announced that Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman for that movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I've already moved on. Like you now have presented Robert Pattinson in the role of Batman. And let's kind of circle back real quick because we started off with the movie of Batman, the trailer. Yeah. I think if this is the direction that they're going to go with this Batman, okay. And the reason why I say okay is because one, we haven't seen a younger a young version of Batman, meaning year one. We haven't seen that version of Batman on screen where he is theoretically his most ruthless version of himself. He's just coming out of the League of Shadows or whatever. Or League of Assassins, whatever. And he's returning to Gotham, and he has this attitude like he's looking for vengeance, and that's what they're going to show. Okay, we've now seen different stages of Batman told by 6 different actors, which I don't like, but that's the world that we live in when it comes to DC. So that's my only fear as well, that the Flash movie is going to cater to the I don't even want to say the fans, because they're going to cater to what the executives think would fix their universe by meshing, like you said, Kyrie, meshing all these types of stories in, and hopefully something coming out of it, and people's going to like it. So yeah, bring back Michael Keaton, because you have that generation of people who love Michael Keaton. Bring back Ben Affleck. He has those generation of people who love the Snyder verse and everything like that. Bring them in and just blah.
And then
That's what they do.
aren't they bringing back, like, I don't know if this is rumor or just fan art, but aren't they gonna make like another Batman as well that's like Bruce Wayne's dad or something? It was like that comic where like his mom turns into the Joker and his dad's Batman.
Oh, like
I've seen art where like there's 3 of them. Like there's his dad, and then there's the Affleck one, and then the Keaton, and then Flash. So if they're gonna even bring in more different types of Batman, bro, I mean, it's like every actor is gonna end up playing Batman.
I don't know.
If they do that, that's also really scary, and I don't know, because it's just like they might use Flashpoint to just open up a bunch of different versions of these characters, and then just make it a norm for DC, which is scary.
That is very scary. And that's why I thought the Crisis on Infinite Earth, the CW, that's why I think that they did a good job as far as softening that reality for us. Because when I saw Grant Gustin and Ezra Miller on screen together, and when I saw that, and Ezra was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, Victor! I told Victor this was possible." I was like, "Oh my gosh, man, guys!" I'm intrigued by that conversation, but where is that conversation going to be put? Now we'll have to wait 2 years, another 2 years for the Flash movie to make that one scene make sense.
I don't even think they're going to do it. I think they're just going to skip over it. I'll be honest with you. I feel like they won't even acknowledge it.
I feel like that happens a lot in superhero movies, is that they will put in a detail and then they won't follow up with it. Like something that would have been like absolutely mind blowing to me. I know we're talking about DC. I just want to switch it up real quick. Is if the time travel in Endgame, right? So when they go back to 2012, it would have been so cool that when if you go back and you watch the Avengers movie and you see like, wait, why is there like Ant-Man? Why is Ant-Man in this movie when he was not supposed to be here? Why can I see him off in the distance? Like those details are just like, if that was in there, it'd be so good.
Yeah, and that's planning.
But yeah. And so like, I don't know, like thinking about details about that. I think that, yeah, like throwing in those, like explaining why a character was in a certain strange position for a certain amount of time, like giving that build up is important, and sometimes that's left out. But I feel like hopefully when it comes to that Flash scene, if they do it, that would be an explanation for us.
One can only hope. I wanted to touch on one more topic from that from the fandom, and then we can kind of move on to Marvel stuff. Snyder Cut. So Snyder Cut is real. The trailer came out. I'm in the position of, yay! I'm happy. Good. I'm glad the Snyder Cut came out. We can now shut up about it. Those who want to go watch the Snyder Cut, you know where to go watch the Snyder Cut. I don't need to debate you. I don't need to hear nothing about it. Leave it where it belongs. It's in HBO Max. Let it stay in HBO Max. That's my whole feeling towards the Snyder Cut. It's just like it's
stale. It's a stale conversation.
Yeah, it's been it's been had. I've debated the fact that there is no Snyder cut, and I still believe that at the time that I had that debate, there was no Snyder cut. I believe what Snyder did was basically pitch a bunch of ideas out to the fans. The fans are who responded to what they wanted to see. Then he was able to go back to his movie that was allegedly 5 hours long at one point. Take the scenes that the fans want to see, align it up, put it together. Hey, this is the Snyder cut that should have been in the movie theaters. That's my opinion of how I think that he went about creating the Snyder cut. But I'm glad that is out. I'm glad that fans are going to finally go and see it, and I hope they're happy on HBO Max to go watch it. I'm glad it's not on the mainstream. I don't want it there.
I agree. I think it's here. It'll go. I didn't care for it at all. Seeing anything from it. Same personally kind of goes for like Wonder Woman too. Like you got an extended trailer of Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Looks okay, but I don't think I'll go out of my way to see. I saw the first one like by myself in theaters, but I don't even think I'm gonna see the second one, honestly.
Yeah, that one looks confusing in itself because again, you said it, Nick. Planning. You know, Marvel plans. They plan things out from the time they did Avengers. They've already planned Infinity War at that present moment. They planned, all right, we're going to do Avengers here. We're going to get to Infinity War right here. So we just got to really just fill in how we're going to get there. But our end goal is to get here.
Our end game.
I don't think the end game was. I don't think the end game was what that movie was going to be called. But I think over time it changed to just end game. But
right.
That's how they plan. But man, it's like Wonder Woman's character Gal Gadot. She says in several movies, 2 movies, that after my love died in the end of her movie, she left mankind for 100 years and she just returned. This movie is now showing that she has been an active part in mankind in dealing with big time issues in mankind. So it's like, okay, well, you just totally negated what you said before, and now we're seeing it here. And now I see Stephen Trevor. I don't care why Stephen Trevor is there. I didn't want to see him again. He's dead.
Yeah, that made 0 sense to me. I don't know how they're going to explain it, but it makes 0 sense of why he's there. And real quick to Nick's point before about planning. And Nick, you said it'd be really nice if in the first Avengers we saw Ant-Man and that connected to Endgame, but Marvel still does an amazing job at planting all those Easter eggs, even with the freaking hammer and Cap in Ultron. That payoff in Endgame was so mind-boggling and perfect and that wasn't the one, of course, but most of Endgame was just payoff after payoff after payoff. It was just all these little seeds planted in every single movie, to the freaking hammer chimes at the end of the movie, going back to the first Iron Man, to all that was just geniusly planned out. Marvel just knows how to plan, and I'm sure they got everything figured out from here on out.
To jump off that, I actually once heard that Robert Downey Jr. When they were shooting Age of Ultron, he knew that he was gonna die in Endgame. Like, that's how much they plan it out. Like, they're like thinking like 4-5 years ahead.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, since they have the legacy to think or to make a 10-year long story, they could probably start thinking 10 years ahead. Which, I mean, I don't want to go too much into Marvel because we're talking about DC, so I'm gonna zip it for now. But yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Before we move on, Mike, you want to add anything before we transition?
I actually have a quick question for all of you guys. Favorite Batman? Since there's been so many Batmans, who's your guys' favorite Batman and why?
Oh.
Well, if we're talking about actors,
I'm a fan of Christian Bale. Christian Bale and Adam West.
If we're talking about actors, I would say Christian Bale. But if we're talking about suits, Batman Beyond, hands down.
I'm gonna say Keaton. Personally, Bale's cool and all, but this might be an unpopular opinion, but I really only liked Bale or Bale's Batman when he was against Heath Ledger. So I really only like The Dark Knight. I wasn't super big on Batman Begins, and I'm not super big on The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And so his Batman was like I think he's a good Batman, but I don't know how I felt about him as like a Bruce Wayne per se, or vice versa, or that horrible Batman voice also just turns me off. But Keaton, I don't know. I like Michael Keaton as an actor, and he was kind of the first Batman I grew up on. I guess I would even say the same for like even with Superman. Like I like Christopher Reeve Superman the most, mainly because he was like the first one, my first introduction of Superman. Not that Henry Cavill wasn't also like really good.
Oh man, this is a good question. So I'm kind of on the same boat with when it comes to what Nick said. Nick mentioned the Batman Beyond suit, which is a cartoon. I'm gonna say my favorite Batman is Kevin Conroy, the original the cartoon version of Batman. His voice, that's the voice that I always imagine when I look at a Batman. Was
Yeah, that's the Batman Beyond.
See,
Absolutely nasty suit.
DC, you cowards, man! They refused to do a Batman Beyond movie, man. Like when I heard that Robert Pattinson was coming on, the first thing I thought was, "Oh, this is going to be Batman Beyond." I thought that they were going to do something where Ben Affleck, it will show Ben Affleck maybe let's say 10 years into the future of after the events of Justice League, and then Ben Affleck is there. He's older now. He should be theoretically in his late 50s. And then Robert Pattinson was going to come in, and he will be the next Batman, but he will be Batman Beyond. That's what I thought when I first heard the name Robert Pattinson. And then when I knew Matt Reeves, and he said, "No, this is going to be another Batman movie," I was like, "We just had another We technically had a Batman movie in BVS. Like we just had that. Like we're not too far away from Christian Bale's Batman. So it's like, yo, you didn't even give us a chance to really mourn any of these characters because now we're on to a new Batman. But anyway, but Kevin Conroy, I would say is my favorite Batman. If I would say like live action, I would have to go with Christian Bale as well. And I'm on the same boat with Kyrie here. I'm more favorable to the Dark Knight version of Christian Bale's Batman because I thought the Batman Begins version was hit and miss. In my book, some moments he was good in the role. Some moments it just felt like I didn't connect. And then the last movie, it was just I was more drawn to. What was that? I don't know what that was. But I was more drawn towards Bane as a character, not necessarily Bruce Wayne's story, but I wanted to see more Bane's story. Just how they set it up, where he was in the jail and he was the one that was protecting Ra's al Ghul's daughter Talia and all that stuff. Like I was more intrigued to that, and and I just like his commentary behind the mask and everything like that. That whole thing, I loved it. I don't know. People hated that. I was like, man, nah, man. It's so hilarious, but he's such a beast. Like I'm good with it.
Plus, it's like the music and the sounds from those movies is just like so good. You know what I mean?
The music score especially.
It's
great.
like it makes you feel like you're actually feeling the weight of the actual like situations.
Yeah.
For example, in The Dark Knight Rises, when the football stadium scene, and you witness all of that, and you just feel like, I feel like if there wasn't that music in the film, you wouldn't feel as much remorse for all those football players, except for that one who made the touchdown. But like, it's like I think that when it comes to the Bale movies, the sounds and like the feel made that feel so good, and that was kind of carried on into side note, into Man of Steel. When I watched Man of Steel, I was like, this feels like a movie in the future, because the weight of the music has weight to it, I guess. And I feel like when it comes to a Marvel movie, it can sometimes have that, but it kind of feels like it's a little bit more hey, this music is a little bit more cheery for the kids, I guess.
That makes sense.
to your point, Nick,
Yeah.
even that scene, and when you mentioned the scene with the football scene, that's the one scene that I was when I said I wanted to know more about Bane. Is that scene right there? Because even then they didn't have any music for certain parts of that scene. It was silent.
Yeah.
And you saw all the silence, and you had the little boy singing, and he was enjoying that. He was like, "Man, it's a lovely, lovely voice."
Lovely voice.
He was enjoying that,
Yeah.
and he was like, "I well, yeah, I got to still do what I got to do," but you still felt that weight. As opposed to like with Marvel, you kind of get that with certain scenes. I would say to counter that, it was. Let me see if I can remember.
Winter Soldier does a good job of it, but
Yeah.
like
Winter
I think
Soldier.
other ones are just like the first Captain America is like, all right, this is
Yeah. Military, patriotic, yeah. Civil War. That was the movie I was thinking about. Civil War did a great job with that, especially towards the end during that fight. And the score that they put over that fight scene in the slow motion hits, and it was like two friends being torn apart. Like I knew they were going to come back together, but just the score brought it was like it was bringing you to it. Like, no, not these guys. You know, you knew it was going to happen, but you're invested. You're invested in that relationship. You know, and you know they did a good job with that. But yeah, to your point, definitely, Nick. All right, guys. Since we kind of ended with a little bit of a Marvel note, I want to take some time real quick, and I want to make sure that we do this right. And that is tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Let me see. Now I know Mike is the Funko Pops expert. I don't think this is not a Funko. But I got this at
it's a Hasbro toy.
There we go. See, that's the official one. Mike got the official one. Mike Z got the official one. This I got this at oh man, where did I get this from? I got this.
I have to get my little bracelet out. I have a bracelet that's downstairs.
Okay. All right, nice. There we go. I got that at a Comic-Con. But yeah. So Chadwick Boseman. What are your thoughts, guys?
Heartbroken. I did. I watched this other YouTuber, and I first heard about. There was an issue with Chadwick Boseman, and fans were concerned about his weight. This was at the beginning of everything happening with COVID-19, and there was this whole debate on whether or not it was for a role, and people were just like very concerned that he looked like he lost a lot of weight. And then a couple months after the trailer and the movie, Da 5 Bloods came out. And in that movie, people thought it was for the role because he's very, very skinny in that film. Even just like looking at the trailers, you can see that there is a significant amount of weight loss. And so I was hoping that it was for that role. And, you know, that role is supposed to be in the 60s and very focused on a specific group of soldiers. And, you know, I thought he was trying to be a specific character. And then things like nobody heard anything from him about saying, hey, guys, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll be okay, which was kind of a little bit suspicious to me. So when the news broke, I hate to say it, but I feel like I wasn't as surprised as I was originally going to be if I didn't see that footage of him. But still, it hurts me, you know? And I think that's something about having a huge movie franchise with all these different characters is that, yes, you're going to hire actors to play specific roles. And one of the risks you're going to have to take is to make sure that the actors who play those roles will fulfill their time as those roles for 6 or so movies. And, you know, it's unfortunate that he passed away, but his legacy is greater than any other actor who has like made such a big deal out of this. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that in the last 4 years or so, he was able to through what he was, his illness, he was able to build his legacy so large, so out of this world, and not only through Black Panther, but he's played so many important figures, particularly in Black history, which is, and he did such a good job at it. And just, I don't know, just to think that his last 7 films, he was battling illness, said nothing. It's just, it shows how much of a true warrior he is, and man, it's just it's it's just mind-boggling to me. But he deserves every bit of praise that we give him, because he's a legend and a king in every sense of the word. And I mean, I wish all my thoughts are going away, but I wish I could say more about him. But man, just a beautiful, beautiful human being, and such a great, talented person. And it breaks my heart that we not only lose him as the Black Panther, but we just lose so much more art that he could have given us over the coming years.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
I was honestly really heartbroken because I actually met this guy this year. I met Chadwick this year.
Wow.
He was very quiet, didn't even say anything, and I could tell there was something wrong with him. He didn't say anything, and then now it hits me, and I understand why he was so quiet and not talkative. It honestly hurt me a bit because he is actually one of my favorite actors. I loved him before Black Panther. I loved him in the movie 42. It touched my heart and everything. And then seeing him in his role of Black Panther, no one could ever replace him. He fit that role so perfectly. That's like saying someone's going to replace Robert Downey as Iron Man. It's roles you cannot replace. His role is just amazing.
So last week I was out with a couple of friends, couple of my brothers, and we had a great Friday. We hung out Friday, we did something awesome, and we were just celebrating, what we were able to do. And then we're standing online to get, make an order for food and drinks and stuff like that. And then my friend was like, "Yo, did you see this?" Showed me his phone. I'm like, "Nah, man, that's that TMZ garbage, man. Nah, man, that's fake." So I typed in Google. As soon as I typed in Google, it was everywhere. And we were just silent. We was all sitting around the table silent. We were celebrating. We were happy, but, we got this news, that he passed away. And to hear what he passed away from, stage 4 colon cancer. Man, that hit me hard, man. That whole weekend I was down and out. Because not a lot of people know this, but, my wife, she had stage 4 breast cancer. And, she's young, she's relatively young. She was like 29 at the time. And, it was scary because I know what that struggle is like, having to go through chemo, having to go take all types of medication during chemo, just so that you can, fight this cancer. And then she'll go to work right after. She'll go home, rest for like an hour or two, then she'll go to work. So, still put on a smile on her face, and that whole thing. And, I resonated so hard with what he was going through and he was dealing with. And then, of course, Travis, Travis, he had leukemia, acute leukemia, at the age of 6, and same thing, he had to go through chemotherapy. He had to get the medication that they used on Travis were experimental at the time. That's what they do now, standard. For kids with leukemia, they were experimenting on Travis and other kids back in the 90s because, they were trying to understand how they can fight this disease. And, everything, it just resonated to me hard. And, each of you said, exactly the same type of respect that I have for Chadwick. I loved him before he was Black Panther. I loved him when he was in Get On Up. He was
Oh.
playing the role of James Brown.
Loved it. Watched it the other night. Such
Yeah.
a great film.
He literally, some movies they harp on the negative life of a musician, the drugs, the sex, that all that type of stuff. But he, even though he touched on some of it, he still captured what it was like for James Brown before he was James Brown, and he immersed himself in that character. That's the role of that's the job of an actor, but also of an artist, to take on that role and to shed yourself to where you are no longer present. Like, you can't see you. Like, an actor who makes it hard for me to see that is Will Smith. He's an incredible actor, but certain roles I cannot shed Will Smith off of his face because he just comes out. But Chadwick, he's able to take a role and just shed Chadwick off, and then I'm like, man, who is this guy that's playing? And I know who it is, but he plays the role so well. It just takes you out the fact that it's Chadwick Boseman. And of course the Black Panther movement, where kids like me, Black kids from inner city were going on bus rides to the movie theaters to watch this movie, and they came out, oh, there's a superhero that looks like us,
Mm-hmm.
and that was huge. That's a huge thing, for kids. I mean, kids love superheroes, but we don't have a lot of superheroes that represent who we are. And that's why I love the approach that Black Panther went with Killmonger, because Killmonger is like, listen, this is what's going on outside of your bubble here in Wakanda. There are people that's really going through struggles. Like, they touched on those social issues that most movies kind of stay away from, and they touched on that. And even though they had to make him a villain and say, hey, we're going to take back these streets, we're going to stand up for ourselves with the weapons and stuff like that, which is the wrong way of doing it.
Yeah.
That's the approach. But they still touched on it nonetheless, and they still had to create that character where he could stand up and say, hey, I'm part of this nation, but we're going to share our assets and our resources with the world equally, not just Black people, but to everybody. And it's definitely a loss for the world that Chadwick Boseman is gone at such a young age of 43. Earlier this year we lost Kobe Bryant, and people forgot about that. Like, wasn't that last year? Well, that was this year. That was this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20.
It's like,
What was that, Mike?
2020. It's been a very hurtful year. Two people I was really the most, Chadwick and Kobe.
Yeah. Gone.
Very, very.
It's hard. That's a hard hit. But you know what? The pictures of him going to these children's hospitals and bringing joy to the kids who are going through chemo, and he may have just had a trial of chemotherapy, and they were like, well, you can put it off for tomorrow. No. Let's go today. And he'll put on a smile, and he will go and he will cheer those kids up. That's deep.
So it's just a beautiful thing.
It's crazy too, because Corey, as I mentioned to you, I actually survived cancer myself as well, and chemo really hits a blow to you. I don't know how to really explain it to you, besides saying you feel like you've ran a mile even though you're sitting down. That's how run down you feel. And I admire how much he's done for both kids who are going through or have went through like what I've been through, while having that himself, and then also giving back to the African American community.
Absolutely.
Big time.
I think it takes a lot of power and strength to do something like that, and it'll never be forgotten.
Right. So let's I know this is I wanted to touch on this topic. I know it's a tough topic to talk about, but let's kind of move on from it.
Of course.
Chadwick, rest in power. He did a beautiful thing. just being on the front line of helping these children and just being that impactful artist to our lives. And we're better because of Wakanda forever. We're better because of it. We're better because of it. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so where does that leave Marvel? Now, Marvel has, because of the COVID, a lot of movies have been pushed back. We still haven't gotten our Black Widow. We were supposed to get not Inhumans.
Eternals.
Eternals. Supposed to be Eternals this year as well. We have a whole bunch of movies slated for next year, but the one movie that was TV shows too, on Disney Plus.
Falcon Soldier. For that.
Yeah. So we got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. So where does that leave? Let's just talk about this real quick, and then we can kind of go off with the rest of the stuff in Marvel. Where does that leave Black Panther 2?
So if you don't mind, I'd like to jump on.
Sure.
So I've been talking with some buddies of mine who are also really into these movies, and the comic books and whatnot, and looking at the characters, just based on the comics too. You have now Shuri and Okoye, and then you also have Nakia, and so for me, how I hope it happens is that I know that Shuri is smarter than Bruce Banner and Tony Stark. And that was shown in Infinity War when they were like taking the little stone out of Vision's head, and she's like, "Yeah, well, you should have done this, that." So in the comics, she goes on to be the next Iron Man. So I hope that there's some sort of connection there. My friends want her to become the next Black Panther, which I wouldn't be upset if that happened, but that's where Okoye and Nakia come in. I feel like Nakia, they could both of them could be in some sort of way. They could both be the next Queen of Wakanda and be a female version of Black Panther. You have Nakia, who has had this love sort of connection with T'Challa, and they've kind of built on that in the first film. And I feel like to have her go on to be the next Black Panther and to strengthen that character and bring that actress more into the MCU is even more shining light on the need for diversity. And then when it comes to Okoye, she showed up more. She's shown her strength many, many times throughout Endgame, Infinity War, Black Panther. And no, that wasn't her in Civil War. I'm thinking of someone else. I think it was Teo.
Yeah.
But I think that, Denai, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. The actress who plays Okoye. I think that she's very strong, and she showed her strength not only as that character, but also as an actress while being in The Walking Dead. She is like one of the strongest characters in The Walking Dead. And so if you take that character and try and make one like that in the MCU, that could work. But at the same time, I don't want to take away from The Walking Dead, if you know what I mean. Right. So I hope that it's Nakia, who's the Queen of Wakanda, becomes the next Black Panther. But I also wouldn't be upset if it were the other two, or if they recasted. But I do hope that there's some sort of a maybe gender switch there.
To jump on that train that you started there, look who's the queen of Asgard, of New Asgard.
Oh yeah, Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson.
Okay, so Valkyrie there's a female that's now the queen of New Asgard. Mm-hmm. In a way, I don't see that as being a coincidence, meaning that there is a queen that will take the throne of Black Panther in the future. Let me throw this to you guys, though. It's been reported that Michael B. Jordan was also cast in this movie as well. So Michael B. Jordan was either going to come back as a flashback, like there could have been a scene where where T'Challa goes to the spirit realm and he sees,
Oh yes.
there.
Okay.
That could have been it. As to why he was in the movie, because even though we didn't see his burial, as far as him being dead, there's a chance that Michael B. Jordan could be the next Black Panther, because of the fact that he was Killmonger. He's still bloodline. He was donned as Black Panther in the movie, technically. So he went through the ritual. He went through all that. So there is a chance that. What was that?
I was just about to say that. You hit me spot on. I think he'd be the perfect Black Panther too.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It may all make sense. Sorry to cut you off.
No problem. It would make sense storyline wise. I personally, I don't want them to do that as far as recast a new person to play Black Panther. However, Michael B. Jordan is not. He won't be he's not a recast of the character. It's kind of like with Falcon. Falcon is gonna be the next Captain America, even though he is not Captain America. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think if they were to do it that way, it wouldn't be like Michael B. Jordan is now T'Challa, or they have a new actor playing T'Challa. I think T'Challa's role in the MCU, that should go. That should be done and dead. That should be dead with Chadwick. That should go with Chadwick. If they decide to bring a new Black Panther in, and if they go in the direction of Nakia, or if they resurrect or bring back Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, I think either of those two would work for the story that they would tell.
I personally probably wouldn't be a fan of Michael B. Jordan coming back.
Okay.
Because I don't know, just even his last lines in Black Panther 1 were so, like he didn't even want to live to be that. He's like, if I'm gonna die, I'm dying the same way my ancestors did. Like, it's just like, I don't think it's in his character to come back as like the Black Panther. Whereas Shuri makes a lot more sense just in terms of like, if I mean, I'm really glad that Nick brought up Nakia because I forgot about her. So if they did something where in the time between Endgame and Black Panther 2, if they supposedly they say that T'Challa and Nakia got married, so she is now the Queen of Wakanda, and then she put on the mantle. Okay, I'm interested. Not what I expected, which is good. Makes sense. Genius. But if they don't do that, it would only make the most sense to me that Shuri would take the mantle next because she would be next in line. I just think that having Michael B. Jordan would just kind of, I think that's another character that he's gone. And if you want to bring him back in Ancestral Realm, that would be really great as a story point. I don't know how well it's going to work now. But yeah, I don't think he should come back in the physical form, especially as Black Panther. I just don't think I don't even think it'll sit well with like the audience either, personally.
It's a fair point. Definitely a fair point. I know one thing that they did mention as far as like with the synopsis is that this is during the time of the snap, that 5-year period, Okoye was the only one who was alive out of that, because we really don't know if his mother, the queen's mother, well, the king's mother was still alive. Like, we don't know if she wasn't snapped away during that time.
And Nakia too.
And Nakia too. Yeah, so we really don't know what happened to them during that time, but we know that Okoye was alive during that time frame. So they said that I read somewhere that one of the blogs that they said that that after the snap, after the 5 years, Wakanda is in a very bad state because the king wasn't there. People were helping it run, and technology-wise wasn't there, and people started to raid because now people know where Wakanda is. Remember, they opened the gates to everybody at this point. So, and the gates were even destroyed by Thanos and his forces and everything like that. So, nobody's guarding and protecting. So Okoye being Black Panther would actually make a lot of sense because of the fact that she was still alive during this time. Granted, at the end of Endgame, we did see the city and we saw everybody restored, but we don't know what happened during that 5-year period. So, that's something also to consider as far as where they should tell this story of Wakanda. Yeah, Mike.
How about like Winston Duke's character, Baku?
Oh,
Because he was the leader of the other side of Wakanda. What if he transfers over to the other? You get what I'm trying to say?
I could see that. I can see that.
I would support that.
Because he's already an existing character. He tried to go for the mantle of Black Panther.
And he supported him at the Battle of Wakanda.
Yeah. I guess
that's very interesting. It's a different route to take it. I think they could even like throw us a bone and make us think like one person's gonna be Black Panther, and then have M'Baku take the mantle or something. That'd be really interesting.
Whereas Iron Man being an Iron Woman.
Yeah, Iron Maiden. Yeah. Real quick, guys. Heavy Base 25 says sometimes you need to burn it all and rebuild properly.
I was gonna say something about that too. Yeah.
So to that point, and I'll bring that point to you guys as well. I don't think the MCU can do that at this point. I think their story thread is so deep that they can't burn it. They can't burn it down. They can only tell stories going forward. Like they can fill in certain gaps, but that's it. They have to start from 2023 or whatever year it is, and then go out.
100%.
So that's my whole thought with that.
I was gonna talk about 3 things. I took a little bit of notes, so I wouldn't forget about them. But what exactly is Angela Bassett's role as the queen, or is she the queen of Wakanda, like T'Challa's mother? Like, is she in power? What's the deal?
So
how that works?
To my understanding, based on comics and based on the understanding of royal hierarchy and everything like that, King T'Challa, King T'Chaka, is the king of Wakanda. When he died, the mantle of king, it doesn't go to the queen. The mantle of king goes to his firstborn, which is T'Challa.
Gotcha.
So T'Challa then, because he even confirms it in Civil War, he says, I now hold the mantle. My father's dead. I now hold the mantle of Black Panther and king. So he says that. He didn't go back to Wakanda, but because his father's dead, he automatically holds the mantle of king and Black Panther. So I love the fact that he mentioned that in Civil War, because it kind of takes away from, who would be the king, who's running the show. So now that if they decide to say, well, T'Challa is gone, he doesn't have an offspring. Now that gets a little tricky. Does it go to the second, the heiress, which will be Shuri? Does it automatically go to her? Because she even mentioned in the movie, she even mentioned something about her being, if she was king, she said, if I was queen, I would make a lot of changes here. She mentions that to her brother before he becomes officially. So you can see that there is some sort of connection to where the mother is just the mother. She's just Queen Mom. That's like the Queen's mother. And she's just Queen's mom. She's just the mother of the Queen. So I think that's how they kind of created that, because they make sure, and again, Marvel's planning. They sprinkle those little tidbits so that way we have these conversations, we can go back as a reference point to it. So that's what I think as far as Angela Bassett's role.
Okay, and then I have 2 more questions. So I've also been talking with friends about the possibility of Michael B. Jordan coming back, but them using an Infinity Stone to change his mind into becoming good. I am not a fan of that idea at all, and it doesn't seem like you guys are really into it either, based on your expressions.
Wait, say that again.
So they somehow bring back Killmonger.
Yeah.
But they make him good using an Infinity Stone.
The Mind Stone.
It would make
I'm not a fan of it.
because all the stones got returned anyway by Cap, so the lengths they'd have to go to like go get those things
Yeah.
is unnecessary, and it's just like, I mean, people really favor the character of Killmonger because of his opinion.
Hmm.
So I think, I mean, if they were to give him the mantle, he would be the Black Panther, but he'd be the Black Panther in Killmonger's opinion. So it would be
Yeah.
just a different take on the Black Panther, and perhaps one that we could enjoy if we get a better or at least more stabilized version of his opinion, especially since the gates are open. So now it's like, okay, you can get these instruments to the inner cities and stuff that you want them to get, but all you got to do is do it in a fair way and not harm anyone while doing so. So, you know, if he kind of just calms, like, you know, thinks more logically about how to do it, he could take that hero role, that hero mantle.
Hmm.
So I think they can do it, but they won't do it that easy. They won't just like change the time.
I agree with Kyrie as far as those stones went back for a reason. And
Yeah.
if we're thinking about where the Mind Stones originated from, it came from Loki's staff, which was given to him from Thanos. So that part right there is still kind of wonky. He would still have to return it either to Shield, because Shield had it, but then again at the time Shield was Hydra, so it's a thread that if you start pulling it, there's too much of it that's coming out. But they would have to go to so many lengths just to get that Mind Stone. And I think the Mind Stone and the stones itself, I think that's done with. I don't want to revisit that. I don't ever want to hear Mind Stone, Time Stone, any of the Infinity Stones going forward. So I don't think that would be. I don't think that would be good.
I also think that we also didn't get to see Thanos use the Mind Stone, which is the one thing that is a little bit of a for me. But
you know what? They said that because that was the one Infinity Stone that Thanos had the entire time from the very beginning. And they said that the Mind Stone corrupted Thanos' mind so much because it was in his possession to drove him to this. To why he said, I have to collect all the stones and I have to snap. Like, because he's had that Mind Stone. He had it so long that the Mind Stone told him to give the stone to Loki. If you want to get all six, you have to give up that one stone.
Yeah.
To Loki. And
it's a deposit.
Yes. The Mind Stone told him to do all of that because, again, when they were in the helicarrier and they were all arguing, those were humans being affected by the Mind Stone, and it happened so quickly. Imagine a Titan like Thanos being around the Mind Stone for so many years. We don't know how long that Mind Stone, how messed up his mind became.
Well, he had it on Titan. He definitely had it on Titan.
Right, because he called him a madman.
Yeah.
He could have had it since then.
A madman.
See,
it works.
Yeah,
it works.
Exactly. It works. It makes sense. I love your shirt.
That's a good shirt.
I love your shirt. Oh my gosh. It works. It works.
But Michael, what were you gonna say?
Yeah.
Nothing. I honestly completely agree. Agreed. I honestly wouldn't like the whole Time Stone idea because it honestly makes no sense. Okay, if they were going to go back to the Time Stone to find a new Black Panther, then wouldn't it make sense to actually get the Time Stone to bring the original Black Panther back? So why do that? You're better off, like you said before, Shuri would be actually a perfect Black Panther. She even said that if she was queen, she'll take over in so many different changes.
Yep.
It made sense.
And the last question I had was T'Challa was the last one to have the sacred plant. So what do you guys think they are going to do because there are no more sacred plants?
That's a really good question.
I know.
Don't want to burn them all.
And frankly, I can't even answer it because I just have no answer right now.
That's why it could be Shuri then, because Shuri is the only one smart enough to make a technology that is the equivalent to that plant.
Or the super serum, if they get it back. I mean, when they were running side by side, Battle of Wakanda Cap and Black Panther running in, it was almost identical. The whole Civil War, the tunnel chase, Black Panther was faster than Cap
Yes.
because Cap was like, guys, I can't keep up. I have to get a car. And so he just takes the Audi and he's like whipping it around. But like the serum's not as good as the plant.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think that's just something that they're gonna make Shuri solve because she's the one that's smart. Whether she duplicates super serum somehow, or she uses technology to kind of aid the suit. I think those are the two solutions that they can go with.
I could see them. I could see her taking the super soldier serum and then making it a lot better.
Yeah, amplifying it.
Yeah, just like how there was no way for them to heal Winter Soldier, but she did. Like,
yes,
she was able to fix it.
Or, I mean, if you want to go crazy, let's say they didn't actually like bury Killmonger. You can still take it out of him. If they could just suck it out of his body if they need to.
No, they could.
That's how they're bringing him back in the second movie. That's how it is.
Kyrie, yeah, because they were able to draw it out of T'Challa before he fought. They're able to draw it out. So yeah, they could do that. They could do it. Yeah. You're onto something.
Kyrie, I agree too.
Yeesh.
Like
It's kind of a very dark concept, but I mean,
it is,
I
but it makes sense.
think they've done pretty dark stuff already, so I wouldn't be too surprised.
Dang.
All right,
Quick thinking though.
So I want to respect everybody's time. We're approaching 10 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock other time. Mike, I think Mike, 9 o'clock your time is coming up. Is that the same for everybody else's 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock. Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I wanted to respect the what I wanted to touch on and speak on. So I was hoping to do something fun for the next 15 minutes. And I have 3 guys here, and I'm going to be the moderator for this friendly debate. Okay. Now we didn't really touch too much on Dragon Ball because I didn't have Travis here, and I wanted Travis to be involved in that conversation with you, Mike. And I wanted to be like Mike and Travis versus Grizzle and Nick to go up against each other when it comes to who's better or friendly. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit, okay? So Mike, you're gonna be Dragon Ball. You're Dragon Ball Z. You could choose Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, Kai, whatever. I'm going to let's see. Nick, I'm gonna make you DC.
Oh, okay.
And you're gonna be Marvel. So these are 3 different. So you guys are representing 3 different industries. So we're gonna have a friendly conversation. I'm gonna call this comic debate. Now, let me see now. Where am I at? There we go. Now, Dragon Ball have manga, so they are technically a comic book. So that's what we're gonna be going into. So, first question: Battle Royale. If there's a Battle Royale with nobody in sight, barren planet, you can choose one character from your respective universe to be in this battle. What's the character? Why would you choose this character? As far as if it's power, if it's strategy, what would be the reason why you choose this character? And I'm going, and since I have knowledge in all 3 areas, I'm going to give my honest assessment to and you guys can debate me on that assessment. So think about it. I'm going to step away for just a second. I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to come right back. I want you guys to think about which character, one character, or one team that you could bring into this battle planet to destroy. All right. I'll be right back.
Commercial break.
Commercial.
No, this is stressful. I'm kind of wishing
Yeah.
I had DC right now.
Yeah. Do you guys have a cheat sheet?
It's tough.
Oh man,
Uh,
I can think of an unbeatable character, but I can't think of a character that would make a fair fight. I guess I think there are characters in both y'all's realms that would beat the crap out of a lot of MC, a lot of Marvel characters.
It's very true. It is very true. I'm sorry.
got the Scarlet Witch.
yeah, she's powerful. I don't know if she's as powerful as what y'all got. I might do something unbeatable, unkillable type deal. So I have an idea in mind, but I don't think the popular opinion of whoever's watching, I don't think Corey's gonna be on my side. That's tough.
Who would you choose though, Nick? I'm curious. Who you thinking?
I'm stuck between two. I really don't know as much about DC. I'm really into the Batman characters and the villains behind Batman for the most part. So I don't really know much beyond Justice League, the Batman characters.
What about Teen
So,
Titans? No.
I only know one true Superman villain, and all I know is Lex Luthor. But I don't want to answer this question. That's why I'm dancing around it.
Came in at the right time. What we got?
Yeah, I also got two in mind now. One's
two,
more
too.
based off comics. One's more based off movie, I guess.
Okay. So who wants to start? Who wants to throw their first character into the ring?
I
Wait,
think I'll start just because I don't think my character is gonna win. All right, I'm just gonna throw out Deadpool.
Deadpool. Okay.
Just because Deadpool he's very hard to beat, and that's pretty much my only reason. I don't think there's many Marvel characters I can think of on top of my head that can outshine DC or especially Dragon Ball characters, because I know Dragon Ball characters can be very, very stupidly powerful, planet-shattering powerful. But I just think even if you shatter a planet, Deadpool will live. I think even if his mouth is there, he will still mock you for not killing him completely.
Yeah, that's the one unkillable part.
Yeah.
Unless you're watching X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore that one. But yeah, that's just my thing, based off the fact that he's very hard to defeat. But I don't think he's a fair battle. I think if you're gonna go fair battle, I think Mike mentioned Scarlet Witch, which is a really good idea, or Captain Marvel could maybe do some damage. But that's kind of where, yeah. That's all I'll say for those. I'll let them kind of defeat me in this debate.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we suggest, when we have finished selecting our characters, can we suggest characters that we would have chosen as well from different universes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
I had my mind on one character from Marvel, and you kind of surprised me with the character you chose of Deadpool. But Deadpool would do good in a situation like that because of his regeneration and his ability. So okay, cool. All right, Mike. I'm eager to know what DBZ character you're gonna put in.
I'm debating between two, and I'm sure you know which two.
Okay.
I'm debating between Goku and Vegeta. See, the thing with Vegeta, he doesn't back down. If he has to cheat to win, he'll even do that. You could say, let's say Nick, he chose Superman. Vegeta will say, oh, here's the kryptonite. Oh, you're dead. Goku, he's the type of person who'll be like, I'm the type of person that fights with his pride. And he just makes sure everyone has a fair chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I think I'm more going to go with Goku on this one. Because no matter what, even let's say if the universe gets destroyed or anything, Goku could easily just use his instant transmission and just disappear wherever he wants.
Okay. So we got Deadpool.
Mhm.
We have Goku in the ring.
Okay. So I have heard over the internet many times the debate on whether people think that in a fight between Thanos and Darkseid, who would win? And now thinking that Thanos won, or they had to try 2 times to win against Thanos, aka the Avengers had to try twice, and Darkseid is even more powerful than Thanos, I am going to select Darkseid. And I don't know too much about Darkseid. I know that he has some sort of was it like a book or something, a spell, where he can just know too much about him. Besides the fact that he's stronger than Thanos according to the internet. So yeah,
So
Darkseid.
Darkseid got the antimatter, anti-life equation, antimatter,
Yes.
equation,
That's what it is. Yep.
and he's okay. So Darkseid is a very tricky one because the Darkseid that we see is a double. It's not even the real Darkseid. The Darkseid is like he's like like X-Men have the Sentinels, but there's the Sentinel Master Mold.
Mm-hmm.
Pops out a whole bunch of Sentinels. That's
Mhm.
kind of like what Darkseid is. So that's why they say that Darkseid, and I think it's a cheat because we really don't see that version of Darkseid out and about. It's only the copy version of Darkseid from the New Gods that we see. So I'm gonna stick with that version as the version of Darkseid that we're going with. All right, so those 3 in the ring.
Oh yeah, are we doing suggestions too?
Yes.
Or
Yeah, because I have a suggestion for like DC. I feel like I like wait. Is Watchmen DC?
It is.
Comics?
It's officially canon since the new 52 came out. So yeah, it's officially.
Because I'm pretty sure Doctor Manhattan can
Yeah,
make people explode.
yeah, I
That's
didn't
probably-
know that they were connected.
right.
So yeah, I'd probably
Doctor
choose that
Manhattan would
too.
just go like this, and then everybody's gone. So that's who I would pick if I had DC.
Have you seen the cartoon Heroes Bowl video on YouTube?
I don't think.
Oh no.
It's an animated video that's about 20 minutes long, and it's all these different movie characters. So you have like the dudes from the Matrix. You have Neo from the Matrix. You have Indiana Jones. You have all these different characters of that Harrison Ford played. You have all the Star Wars characters. You have all the Marvel and the DC characters, and they're all doing a giant battle royale. And all you see is just Dr. Manhattan is just standing above everybody, and he's like, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then somebody like corrects him on something, and he's like, oh yeah. And then he does it to himself and turns into blue goop. But
It's ridiculous.
I think Dr. Manhattan is the choice for, if I were to change it up. Now to suggest for Kyrie,
Yeah, please.
I was going to say the Beyonder.
Okay.
Because we only, from what I already know, is that he only gets defeated once, and he doesn't really die from it. For what I'm saying, he kind of was molded with Doctor Doom and not necessarily killed, I guess. But I mean, I just learned about Secret Wars, so I don't know too much about the character. But either him or Galactus.
I was gonna say Galactus, but I think Galactus gets defeated at some point somehow by someone. So yeah, Deadpool was kind of like a panic mode. Oh man, but yeah.
Or Silver Surfer too.
Yeah,
I would have thrown in for the Marvel side. I would have tried to stay away from, because like when we start to put in Dr. Manhattan, then we have to now take it to a level of the Celestials. We then have to take it to those type of characters to combat Dr. Manhattan, a godlike character.
right.
So if we're thinking like DBZ, for instance, a character we would have to put in to combat against Dr. Manhattan, it would have to be hold on. Well, Mike, how far should we go as far as, because I know you know Super, Dragon Ball Super is now talking about destructor gods and gods of destruction and angels like that. Like if we were to take it to that level, I would
Mhm.
probably put one of the Angels up against Dr. Manhattan. What do you
Okay.
think?
I would still go with Goku.
Still go with Goku. Okay.
Still go with Goku.
So like, all
But
right. So
for
no, go ahead.
you
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry. No, you go ahead.
Oh,
I gotta
no, I was just
retract my thoughts. I know those. I know. I got Marvel and DC for them.
I was
I
gonna
think I
say.
have a good idea. Like,
All right. Because I was gonna say for like
Nick?
for Marvel, I was gonna say because I love the Hulk. I was gonna say the World Breaker Hulk version of the Hulk.
That's I was thinking the Hulk too, but oh man, because I remember, yeah, he did something where he ripped a planet in half, and I remember that, and I was like, yeah,
I would have put it not the red because like there's different Hulks.
yeah.
Like the regular Hulk that we see is probably his more subdued version. The Mephisto Hulk from a different from Earth something is a stronger Hulk than the original Hulk. But the World Breaker Hulk, where he has become the gamma radiation is oozing out of his body because he has gotten to that atomic level of anger. That's the type of fight I want to see him fight against other characters. Now, I think that version of him could give Goku a good fight. And I'm thinking, I would think he would push Goku to a level because one, he's raw power. So it's gonna be like when Goku fought Broly, because Broly he just has raw power. It wasn't really strategy that Broly had against Goku. It was just raw power that was overwhelming to Goku. So I think that would be a good comparison there. And then as far as with Dr. Manhattan, I mean, again, that's a celestial, that's a god level character right there.
Who's your DC pick to go up against Hulk and Goku then?
My DC pick. To be honest, my DC pick would probably be Doomsday.
That's what I was thinking.
As far as a power that's just because with Doomsday he adapts. So every time Doomsday gets hurt, every time he gets knocked down, every time he gets killed, he comes back in a way that where the way that you killed him, he cannot be killed that same way. So it will be hard. It's like a Deadpool on like
Steroids,
like
yeah.
come back, but he will like, yeah, you killed me like this, you're not gonna be able to kill me like that again. So that's who I would put in that, and I think that would be a good battle with Goku because even as much as Goku would probably wouldn't even kill him, Goku will probably beat him to like an inch of his life, just so that he can reincarnate himself so that he could battle him again. So yeah, that's who I would choose for that particular battle.
That'd be fun.
for DC, for me,
Yeah.
I would choose Deathstroke.
Okay.
Deathstroke or Doom. Probably the Deathstroke from like the OG Cartoon Network Teen Titans. He was just basically immortal. He never died or anything. It was pretty. His character in the last season of Teen Titans was pretty badass. I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
No. His character. I felt like his character didn't fit for Teen Titans. Because his character was just so ruthless. I wanted him to be in something else,
Yeah.
but I agree with you.
And then for Marvel, I like your choice of the Hawk, but I honestly gotta go with Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
Honestly, weirdly, either Scarlet Witch or even Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I was thinking
Because
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is good time and everything. Scarlet Witch has got that good power. I remember watching in Infinity War, they were all impressed by her. Like, why didn't she just join the battlefield? Where was she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, question though.
Mhm.
And everybody can answer this. Which version of Scarlet Witch would it be? The version from the movies or is the version from the comic book?
The comics I hear is a lot more powerful.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
almost as powerful as the Hulk in that
Yeah.
regard. Like, can rip a planet apart.
Mhm.
Almost damn near, Dr. Manhattan levels of power.
Yes.
So, so I think if you're considering that Scarlet Witch, I think she could handle her own.
Yeah, I think the one thing against her though is that she's just, even in the films, she's just unstable.
Yeah.
And I think that's her biggest weakness. And
Mhm.
It doesn't really help that she has lost so much. So I don't know. I would say that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because she does. Even in the comics, she's unstable.
Yeah.
She lost her 2 children. She goes into the House of M storyline where she gets rid of all the mutants.
Yep.
Her power is very unstable, but it is a power to be reckoned with. So that's a good selection to throw into this battle planet. Let me see. Let me open this up just a little bit more. We're over time, but I want to just open this up just a little bit more because I always wanted to see other fighters from different places. I'm a big Street Fighter fan growing up. So if I was to have this planet, I would throw Akuma right into the middle of that planet, and I would have Akuma just go
Ryu?
wild. Akuma.
Wow.
Kuma is from Street Fighter.
From Street Fighters.
I gotta say I'm not familiar, so I'm searching up.
Okay. He is
I would
evil.
choose Fighters.
He had the red hair and the big.
He is evil incarnate. His whole mission in life is to fight the strongest person that he can find. And even when he fights that person and after he beats them, and he rarely loses, but once he wins, he's like, yeah, this meant nothing to me. You're not the strongest, so I need to find the strongest. I feel like he will flourish in that planet.
Who do you think he'd go after first? AK, who do you think's the strongest out of everyone we named?
He'll go after Goku first.
Goku first?
Yeah. He wouldn't bother with the Hulk. He would say, yeah, you're strong, but you don't have the fighting technique and power that I'm looking for. You'll find that in Goku. And him and Goku, they will fight. Oh my God, they will fight for eternity. They will fight for eternity. I think I feel like Goku would probably edge him, but it will take.
Goku is your place.
What you say?
Goku.
Yeah, maybe. Oh man. So that was fun. That was fun brainstorming. A friend of mine, I had this similar debate with years ago when we were younger about Superman. It was Superman versus Goku. We had a long debate about this. And I said it's not fair because Superman has 100 different Supermans. You can't use this Superman for this portion of the fight and then say, I want to use Superman Prime for this portion of the fight because those are 2 different Supermans. Like, too many things happen, too many artists. So my friend was like, man, then why don't you draw a new version of Goku to go up against that version and make it canon? I was like, you know what? Game on. You know what? I got so close as to send my stuff over to at the time it was Saban that was kind of running Toei animation and stuff like that. So I was trying to see if I can get that over to DBZ and stuff like that. But I just kind of forgot about that whole thing back then. That's what I was always told. Oh, that's dope. Super Saiyan God Goku. Now that's it. See, so Mike, make sure like the next time that we meet up like this, we definitely got to spend some time digging into the Dragon Ball universe. So I definitely want to touch on that because it's a fun universe, and I've always wanted to see even a game that would have those characters come together with the Marvel and the DC characters, and I'm waiting for that. I'm hoping that comes out sometime before I turn like 50 or something like that. To see all them fighting in one game, that would be amazing. Like a legit game. Like I've seen like stuff online where people have created games like that, and it's dope. But it's like, yeah, you know, I want to see a actual real game, whatever.
Can I also add 2 more random characters into the mix? So I was thinking, just for the sake of powers, 11 from Stranger Things.
Ooh.
And Yoda.
Yoda.
And then it also comes into mind thinking about like Darth Vader and like having them like walk on, or imagine this scenario that you have a bunch of Jedi that walk onto the battlefield with clone troopers, and then Palpatine executes Order 66, but it's against all the rest of the characters, and the Jedi are teaming up with them. So I don't know. I feel like that would be cool. That would be super cool.
I mean, if you want to go crazy, just throw One Punch Man in the mix, and then
Oh my God!
Don't get me started with that guy. Part of
No,
me,
but like seriously, Yoda.
okay.
Yoda would probably hold his own for a while.
Oh my God!
Hopefully.
So that's what we need to do. We need to branch off. I think the next time we meet up and we have this comic talk, I say that we branch out of DC, away from DC and Marvel for a little bit. Let's talk about some Dragon Ball. Let's talk about some Star Wars. Let's talk about some anime. Yeah, let's go into that. Let's go into that. Sick.
I'm here for it.
Do you see who's in it?
Man.
Oh gosh, I'm so mad at that, bro. That's beautiful. When'd you get that set, man?
It came in yesterday.
That's the big surprise right there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We start building it.
I was gonna do an unboxing earlier, but I just need to save my phone battery for tonight. So
Okay.
yeah. But yeah.
Super exciting.
I am jealous. I am jealous. I knew it was coming out. And I said, you know what? I gotta see when you become an adult like me. I'm older than you, gentlemen. You guys are young. You guys are coming up.
Not too much older though. You're good. You're good.
Just I think you guys make sure you're enjoying yourselves. You spend your money wisely. You know, when you get to my age, you know, you have to be very mindful because you can get really carried away. Like I can get really carried away with Lego and all types of stuff. So I'm spend wisely, and that's a wise investment that you got there.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it in February.
Oh my.
So
Wow.
yeah, just got here.
There you go.
Just got here. Lego has been they have been back order. A lot of their stuff has been on back order, so it makes sense.
That's
Gentlemen,
how I feel for my Funko Pop.
Your stuff is on back order too?
For my Funko Pops. That's my baby. Those are my children.
Oh yeah, right. This guy, he has Mike, you do a lot of like giveaways, right?
Whenever I see them, I usually just tag you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to win.
A buddy of mine, you and a friend of mine would be real good friends because he's the same way. Funko Pops. He goes to Comic-Con just for Funko Pops, just for the exclusive Funko Pops. That's the only thing he wants. He doesn't care about anything else that's there. He goes right to the booth. He stands in line for like 2-3 hours just to get those exclusive Funko Pops. Man, he got like a whole gallery and stuff like that. So yeah, man, that's dope, man. That's dope. Guys, I just want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. You guys have been amazing. Love the conversation. Love the conversation in the chat as well. Let's go around in a circle real quick. Promote yourself. Tell us where we can find you. Yeah, let's start with Mike. You were the last one who came in. So Mike, you're gonna go. You're gonna be Mike, then Drizzle, then Nick.
Okay. My name is Mike. You can find me on Michael.ZitoDBZ on Instagram or just Michael Zito on Facebook. But also I help my brother out on his YouTube channel. He does a lot of podcasts. His YouTube channel is JZ Productions 26.
Sweet. My name's Kyrie. You can find me on Instagram at Design by Drizzle. You can see a lot of my drawings and stuff there. Feel free to hit me up anytime. And yeah, and Corey, thank you again for having us on the podcast. It's been really great, really fun conversations as always.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you, Corey.
Thank
It
you,
means
too.
a lot. And I'm so glad that I could finally meet Mike tonight. It was great to get to know you already. And here's to many more experiences on chatting. So, yeah. As you can see, I have my Instagram put down. Actually, it should be right here. So you can find me at ID Nicholas Vera on Instagram, and you can also find me with the same account name on Behance if you want to take a look at more of my design work. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Awesome. Guys, please go and follow these gentlemen. These are young, up and coming artists. This is where our world is going, and I'm so happy to see all of your bright faces. Going through the week and being able to come on here on a Friday night and just talk some comic book stuff with this old guy over here. I'm not going.
22.
Brothers Who Break. Check us out. That's our YouTube channel. That's our Instagram as well. Me and my brother Travis. He can't be with us today, but I'm hoping that the next time he'll be with us. We got some big things coming up very soon. Big opportunities coming soon, and I'm all about family. The Brothers Who Brick is not just about me and my brother. It's a family thing. So we like to reach out to everybody who's here, Nick, Kyrie, and Mike. To definitely be able to give you guys opportunities as well. If anything comes up to our plate that we think you guys will benefit from, we're gonna send it over to you guys. And I'm making that a public statement because I want you guys to hold that to me as well. Because at the end of the day, as I continue to grow and to find success, it's my job to do the same for you guys, to help you guys find success as well, and to just be able to support you guys in any way I can. So hopefully this platform right here will continue more success for you guys, more eyes to your product. Mike, I hope to see Joe in here. Joey in here very soon. I know he doesn't like to talk much. He's more of a chill, relaxed guy, but I would love to see him come on and stuff like that, and see more of his stuff. He does an awesome podcast as well with a lot of big names in the manga community. I just see H Huss with a. Do any of you guys read mangas? I do sometimes. I used to a lot, but I kind of eased off from it. But just thought I'd answer that question real quick. Guys, once again, you guys have a great weekend, great extended weekend, Labor Day. So you guys be safe. Be safe out there. Have a good time. Guys, we'll talk behind the scenes to schedule another one of these, and hopefully we'll have more people come on and we can make this conversation grow even more.
Of course. Go Sox,
brother. Thank you.
Go Sox. Why not? Listen, baseball is back. I'm happy that baseball is back, so I'm rooting for every team. I'm glad that it's back. But next year, all bets are off. You might not be able to get away with that next year.
I mean, you have 3 Boston Bees on your hat already, so.
Or they stand for big black brother or something like that.
Oh,
I don't know. or big bad bro, or something like that. That's why I brought this hat. It's actually the Negro Leagues is actually a team from the Negro Leagues. But when I saw this hat and I saw the 3 Bs, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. So I just bought it and I wore it just for that reason. Like, what does the 3 Bs stand for? Better Business Bureau. That's what.
Best Boston baseball.
Best Boston baseball.
Chicago White Sox baseball. White Sox.
White Sox. Guys, oh man, this was fun. Go Reds. I see you, HS. Go Reds. Guys, once again, guys, this was awesome. Thank you so much for joining tonight. For those in the chat, thank you so much for joining. Please go and follow these 3 young men, incredible young men. They're doing some great things, some awesome stuff. Please support them. Please encourage them. The future looks bright with these guys. they'll be taking over the helm very soon, and even now. So please continue to support them and encourage them. All right, guys, good discussion. I will see you guys.
Have a great one. Thank you. Take care.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.